Okay, now we're going to get into the process of polishing with a wool pad. This is a tool that I use, a Makita 9227C. Some of the features about this tool: variable speed on the trigger, variable dial. So there's a scale on here. We're going to buff anywhere from 1,000 RPM to 1,500 RPM. You don't need to go any faster than that. The polish works great at lower RPMs, so it's very, very safe to use as long as you follow some simple procedures here. This is the wool pad. There's a really unique feature that we have at CSI on this pad. It's a plastic ring here, and that plastic ring fits perfectly into this backing plate. And all you have to do, just line those two up, and then the pad's completely centered on here. You don't have to, mess with it a whole bunch. This is a pad washer. You can see that this is a 5-gallon bucket. And what's going to happen here is this opens up, and we're going to stick the buffer with the pad on there. And there's a grate inside of here. And you push up and down on this grate, and it pumps water into the surface of the pad. And we'll start it up. And the reason why we want to do that is you don't want to get these wool hairs spread around at where you're doing the detailing. And I know Dave wouldn't want that, and we want to try to keep this as neat and clean as possible. So the pad's attached, went on easily. Put the buffer in here, cover it up, move it up and down a couple times, and what this does is it wets the pad. Again, about 1,500 RPM. Just going to shake off a lot of the lint. Okay, let it stop, pull it out. The pad's nice and clean, a little damp, but not wet. There's not going to be any water that comes off of this pad. Again, it's just to keep the area clean. And when we buff for half the hood or so, we'll come back over and clean the pad again to just keep the residual compound polish from getting built up on the hood. This is the polish that we're going to be using. Ceramics polish, water-based technology. Very unique product, made, we make it at CSI. It's made in a homogenizer. Really unique product, completely different than any other product that's out there in the market. One single product for doing everything, from the cutting that we're going to do now to the foam pad polishing, and we'll get into that in a second when we get done wool padding the surface. But I want to get into that. This is the product, ceramics polish.